And here we are, Josh.
What's up, Chase? How's it going?
Good, man.
Good.
Happy unofficial start of summer to you, pal.
Yes. For those watching, we didn't do an episode last week. It was Memorial Day weekend, so we took the day and took the week off.
That's right.
Did you do anything fun?
Did a little grilling. I
Yeah?
broke out the grill. Yeah, we did some New York strips, I believe.
Nice.
It was good. Turned out
Nice.
great. I'm learning how to use that smoker.
Dude.
Like me and you have the same setup.
Mm-hmm.
And it takes a while to kind of learn how to do like a good, just if you're doing, because I don't care. That's not a grill. It's a smoker.
No, it's a smoker.
It is a pellet smoker. That's what
You
it
can
is.
use it as an oven,
Yeah, you can.
like a wood-fired
Like
oven.
you did with that smoked mac and cheese, which is
Yeah. Dude.
unbelievable.
Dude.
Unbelievable. I hope Jimmy does that. Jimmy's birthday's,
It's coming up soon.
it's very soon.
It is.
I think it is maybe this upcoming weekend. I don't know.
I remember it was close to the Alien Festival. It was the same weekend as the Alien Festival.
So that would have been, so if they had it on the same way, that'd be
Yeah.
not this coming weekend, but
The weekend after
the
that.
weekend after next. Yeah.
Yeah,
Something
pretty
like
sure.
that.
Because I remember last year we went from the Alien Festival to Jimmy's.
Yep, we did. Alien Festival reminds me. Everybody get out to that.
Yes.
I want to reach out to them and see if we might be able to do something with Mr. Mike Barr like we did last year. I'm going to reach out to that lady tomorrow and see.
that would be cool.
I know she's probably neck deep in it right now. But one other thing I wanted to mention, Bethany had reached out to me about the chess club.
Yeah.
The Spruce Pine Chess Club for kids. Her and another gentleman have been running that, and she wanted me just to mention that unfortunately they're not able to do so this year, and she doesn't want it to die. So she's looking for someone to step in as a teacher, kind of. Doesn't necessarily have to be a chess master, but somebody who could kind of help guide the kids along and that. So really looking forward to that. Looking forward to that. Looking for somebody for that. And then she's also got a little newsletter that she's putting out for things to do for the kids.
Cool.
Like a non-digital summer, I think she called it, I believe is what she said. So she's just a newsletter going over kind of what's happening during the summer for kids and all that, which I know can be a cool resource. But if any of you would be interested in that, feel free to reach out to us either on our Facebook page, Small Town Podcast, Small Town America Podcast, or on here on YouTube, and we'd be more than happy to hook you up with her.
Or my personal Facebook. It's just Joshua McKinney.
Me too, Chase
and it's
Thomas.
A picture of me holding a snake, holding a little cobra.
Very distinguishable, huh? Mm-hmm. So that's a little housekeeping measures there, but looking forward to getting back into the swing of things.
Me too.
Reached out to Will Ritter again. I saw where he was. Did you see where he was on This Old Porch on WNCW?
No, but that's cool.
Good for him. I was
Wow.
like, man, that's cool, dude.
Yeah, that's awesome.
He deserves that, man. Yeah, works hard. We listen to him tell stories and do some songs down at the English Inn during the Halloween last year. It's really good. But
Will's a good guy too.
He said maybe week after next he could come and
that'd be awesome.
hang out with us for a while.
That'd be awesome.
That'd be fun. Yeah, that'll be really fun. What'd you get into? Anything?
Oh man, I've worked and I've done a bunch of stuff around the house. So you remember my chicken debacle, right?
Yes.
Okay, so I still have one chicken left that but it only comes at night or something. I don't know. I can't catch it.
It's a nighttime chicken.
It's a nighttime chicken.
Nocturnal chicken.
It is a nocturnal chicken. It keeps leaving like one or two little eggs for me here and there, which is nice, a nice present. But it's still shitting all over my patio and all over everything. So, and here's the thing: like, I want to fill my hot tub up.
Yeah.
I want to, but before I do that, I want to take everything off of my back patio and pressure wash it.
Yeah, sure.
Real good because there's shit all over my patio.
So it comes up on the back patio and just dumps all over your patio?
That's where it lives, apparently, until I go looking for it, and then it disappears. But I hear it. I hear it, like, outside my door at night. I'm laying in bed. It's like...
Then you go and look for it, and it's gone.
It's gone. It's gone. It has taken up roost on my Blackstone. I've got a Blackstone grill out there under the cover. And it's taken up roost. That's where it leaves the eggs.
Really?
Yeah, on my Blackstone. And I'm like, okay. I didn't see it for the longest time.
All right.
And then I was laying in bed the other night, and I heard it
right
outside my door, and I was like,
I wonder how many other barn animals could survive if you just let them loose. Because chickens are one of those. Chickens, if you just let chickens loose, they just like do their thing.
This one survived entirely too long. Entirely too long. And I don't want to kill it.
Right.
But man, that's tempting.
I mean, what if you let a cow out? Because it just survive? I guess it probably could, couldn't it?
It would. Yeah, I suppose so. It would. Until either it was hit by a car or eaten by a pack of wolves.
I used to love that Mitchell County Alerts Facebook page.
Oh, I know.
Like every other one was livestock at large.
Yeah.
I think the Mitchell County Sheriff's Department in particular gets so many calls for livestock at large. I think half the calls might be for livestock at large, according to that page.
Yeah. I can see that.
Yeah. I'm just looking at it.
It's almost like we need animal control here.
Yeah.
We do.
I think we probably do need animal control.
We don't have any animal control.
We don't.
Nope. And I've talked to the people at the shelter. Awesome people. They they reached out when I started advertising online and going public with my snake endeavors.
Yeah.
They were like, "Hey, got a few questions about your snakes." Totally fair. They wanted to know what happens if something happens to me. What's going to happen to the snake? All legitimate questions. And of course, I've got a plan in place for all of that.
Right.
But she was like, I just needed to know because I'm kind of like animal control, even though we don't really have
de facto animal control.
And I'm like, why don't we have animal control here? Why don't we? Probably because it needs funded, and we can't fund it.
It does need funding. Mm-hmm. Damn, I never really thought a whole lot about that, to be honest with you. But that's true. I mean, you think even in rural areas, people have probably more animals in rural areas than they do in
the city. Yeah,
in the cities. Mm-hmm. Let's get on some animal control.
Let's do that.
We can bite off a chunk of something.
What if we did it privatized animal control?
Privatized animal.
How would that work? What would that look like? Animal control for profit.
Public-private partnership.
Maybe. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
There you go. That's your new career, Josh. I think
Step 1, collect animals. Step 2, question mark. Step 3, profit.
I think that what they need to do is these livestock at large, they just need to repo them. Just gather them, house them, and if you want to get them back,
you got to pay a fee.
You got to pay a fee, like towing your car. Yeah. I would say repo,
damn
I guess.
An impound. Yeah.
That's a good idea. That's a good idea. Dean Solomons jump right on that.
I'm just picturing a cow with a boot on it. It's like, it can't move.
That's hilarious.
You could use one of those like human catch thingies, but on a cow instead.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. I know. I did price out like a barn for the animal shelter because apparently they do get quite a bit of like livestock or barn animals.
Yeah, sure.
That need to be sheltered. Mm-hmm. I would imagine that's a thing. Mm-hmm. What happens if if you're a farmer and you get old and you're not able to do it, and makes sense.
Well, yeah, I assume, and I know they've had to like reach out to other farms to take animals.
Sure, I can imagine it's not just dogs and cats you're dealing with; it's all kinds of animals.
No,
so
and I don't know if they take reptiles or anything like that. I've taken reptiles. I've taken a few rescues.
Really?
Yeah.
I know a lot of times though. I built the building for the May wildlife at Lees McRae, the May Wildlife Center, and they do like wildlife rescue. For all kinds of stuff, deer, squirrels. I mean, they got anything you can possibly think of. A lot of aviary, like falcons, eagles. I mean, they got it all.
The football teams.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. It was kind of cool though. I've never built like aviary cages before. That was pretty cool. And they got them outside to where they're like on display.
Oh, that's
and so
cool.
people can come and look at them. If you've never been up there, but it's worth going.
Yeah, I got a good friend of mine is a biology professor up there.
Yeah,
and she's told me a lot about that program in particular. They're big reptile fans, and her and her family come and check out my snakes every now and then.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
that's cool.
Yeah, but she's told me all about the herp room and stuff.
Yeah, they have we built the building originally, then we built the aviary, like the aviary cages or whatever. And then we did an addition on the backside of it. That's the first time I'd ever done that. So I built a X-ray room. You had to do like lead line, sheetrock and all that.
Right.
So they could X-ray like broken legs and all that type of stuff, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
I'm glad it's cool that we have something like that here because I think that's fairly unique. You know, I've seen people advertising. I don't know that there's hardly anybody else in North Carolina that does that. I've seen people saying, "Hey, we have an animal in Charlotte if anybody's coming this way." So I don't think there's anywhere in Charlotte that does it. So especially wildlife. I mean, wildlife rescue is kind of a niche thing.
Well, and we encroach on habitats all the time, especially in cities. Because our cities are ever expanding and our rural areas are ever shrinking. So it's like we're. Oops, I didn't turn that off. Yeah, sure, go for it. No, I have to go to the bathroom. Go for it.
Yeah, man. You got to ask us, son. If nature calls, nature calls, baby. That's what we're talking about.
I'm
wildlife.
Going to the bathroom. I go to the bathroom. Yeah, we need to get on that.
Private animal control.
Animal control.
We can wear a official uniform.
Yeah, we can. That's our next business venture. Let's do it.
I'm telling you, anything that has an official looking uniform, I'm into it.
Yeah.
I want to be uniformed.
Really?
Not really, but I would if I looked cool.
Yeah, I'm not.
But I'm not getting one of these lame. Let me tell you something. Here's a peeve of mine.
All right, let's hear it.
Okay. There are so many professions that have terrible attire.
Yeah.
Why have we are a 21st century civilization on the verge of AI running everything. We're going back to the moon. We're going to Mars, and we can't correct simple missteps in uniform.
Hold on. Going back to the moon?
We're going back to the moon, Josh. We're not arguing this.
Back to the moon?
We went to the moon, Josh.
You think so?
I think we went to the moon.
I don't know. I'm not.
Let's not get into that. We'll be here until midnight.
I don't think we did, but...
You don't think we did?
No.
Okay.
No, I don't.
Do we need to get into this?
I mean, we can. I don't care.
Well, let me finish my thought about uniforms first.
Go for it. Sorry.
I tell this to Laura all the time. I'm like, even in her, she works at a high-end country club or whatever. Even their uniforms kind of suck. Mm-hmm. It's like, come on. Like, can't we get, I don't know. I think a little more casual approach to some things would work better.
Yes.
You know what I mean? When you try to get official with it, it looks terrible.
Do servers really need to wear a tie?
I don't think so.
I don't think so, no. But why is a server wearing a tie?
I don't know.
Well,
just so it can get in the spaghetti.
Exactly.
And then you got to wear the tie clip, and then there's all this extra accoutrement that you got to have. It's terrible.
Exactly.
You know?
What's wrong with a collared shirt?
Exactly.
Why does there have to be a tie?
And some of the high-vis gear. High-vis is getting a little better.
Dude.
But most of it is terrible. I ran into that in construction, too. It's like, why is this the most terrible thing ever?
That's a great question. Why do I have to wear high-vis in a lab? I might get in trouble for asking that question.
Is it because you have dump trucks coming through the lab?
Well, that's the thing. I'm like, if I get ran over in the lab,
we got a problem. We got bigger problems.
High-vis is not going to save me if there's mobile equipment driving through the laboratory.
So they make you wear high-vis over your lab coat? Do you get to wear a lab coat?
No, we wear a lab coat, but we're still required to wear our uniforms, which are high-vis. So,
I mean, at least you're visible.
That's absolutely right.
Laboratory chemist day of visibility, Josh. That's what they want to put. They want everybody to be visible, even lab technicians.
Yep, we got to be visible.
Yeah,
visible
you feel
from
visible,
the sun.
Noah?
Well, now I do. I was invisible without them.
You were Kurt Cobain last week, which, by the way, those glasses, spot on.
Yeah.
I was over at Laura's last night. I got to look, and she's got this Kurt Cobain. I think it's that guy. You know the guy, you ever been up to Sorrento's in Banner Elk?
Mm-hmm.
You know all the paintings they have in there by that one guy?
Yeah.
And he paints, all kinds of pop stars and
Yep.
all kinds of stuff. I think it's a smaller one of him, I believe. And it's Kurt Cobain with those exact glasses on him, buddy.
Yeah, it's those exact
spot
glasses.
on.
I know.
It's spot on.
Does it change if I take my hair down?
It does.
Do I?
You just look more glorious.
Yeah, my hair is getting...
I would give anything to have that kind of...
You need to wash your hair, buddy.
I don't know.
You got good physique, though. I'm jealous, man.
He does.
You need to pump a little iron, dude. You could be
I know.
properly jocked.
He walks in out of his room with no shirt on, and I'm like, how do you have muscle definition?
Do you do push-ups in there?
No,
You don't do anything.
I don't work out at all.
You should.
God
No,
dang,
I
you got good.
Should.
I did probably a couple of years ago. I did sit-ups, push-ups, about every day, and then I did karate for a little while.
Karate's good exercise.
And PE classes in school.
Yeah.
Every now and again, but other than that,
I would give anything if somebody would open up like an MMA gym here,
Oh, I know.
or like what's it called? Jiu-jitsu. Me and Jimmy were talking about this.
There we go.
Like, there's one in Marion.
Those lights were bothering me.
Oh yeah.
They were flashing.
there's a few karate places that I know of.
Yeah.
But other than that, I don't know if there is anything else.
There's an MMA, or not an MMA, but a jiu-jitsu gym in Marion, and they opened up that one big warehouse or whatever, put a bunch of businesses. I noticed there's one in there. And then where else did I see one that was kind of odd? May have been in like Weaverville or somewhere. I can't remember.
I'll text Joe.
But I'd like to do that. Yeah.
I'm gonna get Joe.
Text
on
Joe
that.
Rogan
All
and
right,
ask
so
him where the nearest MMA gym
I'm
is.
gonna ask him why he doesn't open one
I
here.
still remember a good chunk of the karate that I actually know. I remembered a good chunk
Yeah.
of it, even though it was kind of still like the beginning stage. I thought like some of it.
I wish you would have stuck with that.
Yeah. You can always go back to it. That's the one good
I
thing.
could. I don't really feel like it.
You know, hearing like comedians like Joey Diaz tell about how he goes and does like jiu-jitsu and stuff. That makes me want to do that. Like, even as like a bigger guy who's probably like, I think it's just good all around to exercise.
Yeah.
I would really love that. And I'm just not a huge fan of like going into the gym at 5 a.m.
No,
and
I'm not either.
I'm just not it's not that that I wouldn't enjoy being fit.
Right.
It's just that there's nothing about that really appeals to me. As I'm a social creature.
Right.
I just am. Like, if I could be in a group of other guys and girls like doing the same thing, and like and jiu-jitsu is very much like that. I gather.
is,
I've
yeah.
never done it. In MMA, same thing. Was pretty much one and the same, I guess. But that appeals to me a lot more than just going and having and I can. I have before. I know what really gets me in shape. I know a routine, but it's like, okay, another thing to check off the list. And I know it's supposed to be hard. I'm not looking for it to be easy. I'm just looking for it to be interesting, I guess, or entertaining in some way. You know?
I need to start lifting.
I know.
I really do. I don't like to lift.
Yeah.
But I would like to. I don't want to be swole. I don't want to be swole. I don't want to be Liver King bullshit.
Right.
I just don't want to look like this.
Right, exactly. Well, and you're not going to. I mean, you're already losing a ton of weight, man. It'd be a good time to start it. But
As of this morning, I've lost 32 pounds now.
that's awesome, dude. Good for you, brother.
Thanks, man.
Good for you.
Thanks.
And I see what's in your fridge. I know you're eating healthy, too. That's
Yeah. Yeah,
good.
definitely eating
Yeah.
much healthier. Well, right now there's nothing in my fridge because I haven't been to the store in a minute.
dude, you ought to see mine. Mine is like bare minimum, dude.
Mine is too for the
And
first
I
time in a
suffer
long time.
I suffer from like people get on to me. They'll look at my fridge and be like, "You have nothing, and you have how many kids?" I'm like, "Dude, the store is within spitting distance of me." Like, what? That's just our refrigerator. If we need something,
Right.
we just go to Ingles and
Good
buy it.
Ingles is your fridge.
Yes, exactly. I mean, I'm close enough or whatever. But watching anything? Go ahead.
I would definitely. If I got the chance to, like, hey, we're going to go to the gym tomorrow, I'd be like, all right, cool, I'm down.
I need
I
to
feel
start.
like I could definitely add that to my routine of things. I think I'd enjoy it.
You and Dakota ought to start going.
I'm gonna run that by him.
You should, because Dakota's asked me several times, and so has Ryder, wants to go. I feel bad because I'm always like, Plus, you got to pay the membership. But heck, I would pay the membership.
Yeah.
I'd pay the membership for Dakota and Ryder both.
I'm gonna ask him about that.
Yeah, you should. You should. Watched any good shows? Did you watch the new South Park?
Oh yeah, I actually binged
It's Lizzo.
3 of them last night because it had been a minute since I saw the streaming wars.
Yeah.
So I hadn't watched them in a minute. So I watched them. I watched the new one, the Ozempic.
Yeah.
What was it? Obesity.
Yeah.
Obesity.
The end of obesity.
Yeah. God, that was hilarious. That was so funny. Those damn women with their midriffs showing the whole time. Robbing pharmacies with their midriffs showing. As they're leaving, they're like stopping and posing.
So good, man.
Oh,
I'm
my
telling
God.
you.
And then, of course, Randy starts getting all fucked up on it. And it's like, because he thinks it's drugs, you know.
Right,
he thinks it's... he's like, these are weird. I don't feel bad the next day. He's like, Sharon, you want to go to the hotel room and do some Molly?
Have you watched Shane Gillis has got a new show on Netflix called Tires?
I've seen the advertisements, but I've not watched. I've seen the ads for it. Is it good?
Laura had watched. I didn't even know it was out yet. Mm-hmm. She informed me, and I went over to her house last night, and we started watching it. Hilarious, dude.
Really?
Oh my God. Absolutely. I can't imagine that that's not going to be a hit show.
I hope it is.
It's kind of I would say that it's in the vein of like The Office a little bit.
But
definitely more crude, like uncensored, whatever. Like
his tire shop.
Yes. And that McKeever guy that writes for him, his like partner that writes all that sketch comedy that he does is brilliant.
Okay.
Brilliant. Yeah, give it a listen. It's awesome. It really is awesome.
I'll have to buy Netflix again. I canceled Netflix after they released Cuties, and I haven't been on it since.
Really?
Yeah. I was like, okay, I draw the line there.
That was a little bit.
That was a little much.
I kind of give Netflix a little bit of a pass because I appreciate what they've done with this, like, Netflix is a joke thing. Mm-hmm. Like, they've really given voice to some people that probably otherwise would have gotten canceled.
They have.
And so I give them a little bit of a longer leash just because that roast of Tom Brady was.
Oh, it was spectacular.
Yes, it's like, okay, comedy's back again.
Yeah.
And it's nice to see that, and I think they played a large part in that, and I appreciate it. So I'll give them my business, but yeah, I was a little sketched out by that whole thing too.
I love that most of the people who have been on Kill Tony were in that roast.
Yes.
I like all the Andrew Schultz, one of my favorite comedians. I love Andrew Schultz.
Andrew Schultz is in Tires too.
Really?
Yes.
I didn't know that.
He's a member of what they call the WAPs, which are these two Italian guys that come in. They come in at just the worst opportune moments, talking about all kinds of crude shit while they're it's a really, really give it a watch. It's worth it because I'm always hesitant to get into new shows because I'm like, I don't have time for this. But it's nice, digestible, like 30-minute episodes.
Okay.
There's like 6 episodes in the season, so you can binge watch it in a couple of hours. You know what I mean?
Cool.
So yeah, it's pretty good.
Yeah, I'm down for that. I will check that out. I will buy Netflix tonight.
Do it.
And I will check that out.
It's
I'll
hilarious.
watch an episode.
Yay, we're getting Netflix back. That means I can watch all the Netflix anime that I've missed out on.
Yay.
I can watch shows like Castlevania and Violet Evergarden.
What's your favorite anime?
That's like asking what is my favorite food.
Really? You like
Excuse me.
Oh Jesus.
I'm trying to think.
Inuyasha?
I watched Inuyasha when I was really little.
Yeah.
But it's been a long time since I've seen it.
What about Full Metal Alchemist?
I've not watched FMAB yet. Not yet.
Got to get on some Full Metal Alchemist, dude.
No, honey, you're going to have to eat that microphone. I'm watching the levels, and you really need to be on top of it.
Full Metal Jacket's great.
I would say
Full Metal Alchemist.
Full Metal Alchemist. Jeez. Full Metal Jacket.
It was a good movie. Yes, it was great.
But
my favorite anime of all time, probably right now. I either want to say Fire Force or Naruto. It's between the two. I can't really decide.
I got you. I was a big fan. I never was like big into anime, but I got into Full Metal Alchemist big time. I would recommend that to anybody.
I could recommend you 1,000 shows right now. I have actually in my phone. I have a list.
Yeah.
It's a note of how many I've watched all the way through, and then how many I want to watch.
Really?
I have an anime watch list.
Man, they are ridiculously long.
I cannot get into anime. I've tried.
I'm very selective on the ones that I like.
I've tried and tried, and it's just so awful.
It is a little bit. The story of Full Metal Alchemist is really good. I like the whole story around it. It's really good.
Yeah.
And it's kind of a classic, I think.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
considered like a classic anime.
It's 20... When did it come out?
Like,
Early 2000s?
yeah, or late 90s, early 2000s, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was thinking more along the range of like 2010s, but I think I was a little off.
No, I think it was before that, because I remember watching Full Metal Alchemist when I was like right out of high school. So that's at least 2004. And I remember I was behind. What?
Let's find out here.
Okay.
A friend introduced the world of anime to me with the Sword Art Online, which came out in around 2016, and I watched it. I was like, oh, that's neat. 4 years later, I've gone through about 50 to 75 shows all the way through.
Really? That's saying something for
no.
anime, too, because they make them. They churn them things out like...
They do.
Yeah.
They do.
Do you know Naruto's 800 episodes?
That's crazy. That doesn't surprise me.
That doesn't surprise me
no.
at all.
One Piece is 1,000.
Yeah.
1,100 probably.
Wow.
Bleach is going on 400 to 500.
Wow.
Those are referred to as the big three.
Big three. Yeah.
Yes. And Dragon Ball's been going on for 20, 30 years.
Yeah, that's the truth.
Dragon Ball's still going.
It was released. I think 2003, but I'm gonna.
That may be true.
After the podcast, Jake, so I can show you my little
2003.
anime
2003?
statue
That makes sense.
collection shelf type deal
Yeah.
that I've got.
That's awesome. Let's go. I like stuff like that. I think we would do good to take a look at Eastern cultures. More.
Sure, we would. We would.
You
A
know
lot.
what I
That's not going to pass the woke test because they're quite racist.
Nope.
And
Nope,
they're
it's
quite
not.
exclusive. They're not inclusive at all.
No, they are not.
Not inclusive at all.
No, they're a very stoic people.
They are.
I think a little bit.
Uh-huh.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You ever been to?
No, I'd love
Asia?
to go. I'd love to go. I love the Family Guy jokes. He's like the Chinese kid in his room, and he's like, 6, and his dad opens the door. He's like, "You talked again?" He's like, "No, Dad. You talk to me when you doctor," and closes the door and slams the door. Like that's what I think of Asian people.
You tear down my shitty wall.
Yeah, they're all Luke Kim, who turned out to be white, by the way.
Go in.
Goddamn, I'm gonna tear down my shitty wall. Who turned out to be white. He suffers from dissociative identity disorder and has several personalities. Okay, here's a rabbit hole to go down.
Sure.
All the people who pretend to have DID.
DID, dissociative identity.
Dissociative identity disorder, yes. Have you seen this phenomenon?
I don't know that I have.
Okay. So there is a large amount of people who claim to have dissociative identity disorder.
Okay.
And suffer from multiple personality disorder, and they call them systems. And they're LARPing. They're all so full of shit. It's not even
I've
funny.
experienced these people literally first.
They're awful.
Really?
Yeah,
But there's
many
a
years ago, but
huge number of them. They're all over TikTok.
I have seen some of that. Yeah.
I'm in several Facebook groups that loves to make fun of these people because they deserve every bit of ridicule that they get because they don't have dissociative identity disorder.
I think it's that way with a lot. Man, why have mental disorders become like a
Not even a crutch. It's like they're cool. They're in vogue.
well, everybody has a mental disorder.
Sure, and that's probably accurate. Everybody does have a mental disorder, but do we need to freaking, make it like Sunglasses.
How about these people? This is another pave of mine. How about the people that do, and I'm sure these are the same type of people, but it's like anything that you've been through, they've been through 10 times worse.
Oh, I hate one-uppers.
You're just trying to tell them.
I hate one-uppers.
Oh, that is the worst.
It is the worst.
Those are the worst type of people. And you're like, and so a lot of them are really nice, but it's like, oh, yeah, let me tell you. I'm telling you, my mama had whatever, and then I got it from mama, and I'm telling you, the doctor said it was the worst case he's ever seen. And you're like, okay. And then you're like, oh, yeah.
What does that have to do with my driveway?
Yeah, I had cancer. I've got 5 different types of cancer. You're like, Jesus, dude. Okay, so you got 5 different types of cancer. You have 14 mental disorders. Mm-hmm. You're on medication for every one of them, and then you wonder why you can't sleep at night.
And probably every one of those issues could be tied to obesity.
Probably. Yeah.
Literally every
Or
one
you
of them.
just need to get off your fat ass and get out of the world and do something. Like, people use these things as a massive excuse.
Well, so there's 2 trains of thought here, and I agree with you. There is a lot. I mean, coming from a huge fat ass, there's a lot.
Hey, right there with you, brother.
So okay.
Your fat ass works for a living.
I do.
Yes.
I do.
There would be the difference.
Sure. Our foods are engineered to make us addicted to them.
Sure.
Our foods are engineered to make us our appetites insatiable. Our foods are engineered first and foremost over everything to make profit.
Right.
So when you have that, South Park, again, it all goes back to South Park. South Park spelled this out so perfectly in the end of obesity episode. Have all that coupled with navigating the American healthcare system, which is an absolute pile of dog shit.
Mm-hmm.
It's no wonder obesity is running so rampant. And I don't fault people, honestly. It's not as easy as being like, go out and run or eat healthier.
No, it's not.
It's not, because you're dealing with addiction. You're being bombarded constantly with psychological. And I'm not on the whole body positivity movement either. That's all bullshit. That's all bullshit, and all that does is make big food profits.
Right.
We need to exercise. We need to diet and eat healthy. But there's more to it.
There is.
Than just
it's
that.
Not just that simple.
No,
I mean, for 100% sure.
It's not.
But I do think there's a lot of people that use these things as an excuse not to
100%. 100%.
You know, and it's like, hey, look, like, I get it. Like, things are stacked again, and there's plenty of reasons you can sit and say, okay, well, hey, but when you make the victimhood pile this big, and the self-responsibility pile
non-existent, right.
There's a problem there.
There is.
You know what I mean? You have to have discipline. You have to have things. And those are hard things. It's not like, and you're not going to be perfect at it. You're not going to be Joe Rogan overnight.
No.
You're not going to be David Goggins overnight. You're just not going to be. No. And I think even Joe Rogan and David Goggins know that. They know that you don't just develop that type of discipline and that type of, drive and that type of thing. But we all should be at least working towards that direction. You know what I mean?
We should want to be the best version of ourselves that we possibly can.
100%.
Physically, mentally, and emotionally.
And we've all got our downfalls, and we all just have to work on them.
100%. We do. Mine is definitely food addiction, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. But working on it. I feel good today, man. I shaved my entire body. You should try it sometime. I'm just kidding.
I got ready to say, Jesus. Okay. Dude, if Laura hears this, she'll be like, oh, you remember what I was saying? That's what she wants to do. I think Laura wants to just shave me from top to bottom.
Okay, man. So hear me out.
Okay.
chest, belly, back, armpits. I do shave all that.
Yeah.
And the reason being, well, number one, hair retains odor, so that helps with
Yeah, I'm sure.
armpit stuff. But I don't shave it smooth. Like, I just use an electric razor. Dude, the feeling of putting on a shirt after you shaved all that hair off of you is amazing. The way the fabric feels against your skin.
Let me
holy
tell you
shit,
something, dude.
Next
I've
level.
got the hairiest back known to man. I'm like a Yeti back
Mine's
there.
pretty
dude.
bad, too.
Oh, it's pretty bad. The last time it was a nair job that I agreed to. Oh, full on.
That's bad.
Yeah, see,
bad.
I'm thinking that maybe the shave might be the...
See, I've got the man groomer. It's the
Yes.
one with, like, big extender that you shave your back with.
See,
Yeah,
that might be the way to go.
That's how you do it.
That
That's
might be the way to go. But let me tell you something. I don't think that skin back there, that's the only time I've ever done it.
Really?
But I really don't think that skin back there had ever contacted like cotton fabric of any kind.
It's amazing, isn't it? The feeling.
It is dude, I spent 2 days like
Do you know how long it takes me to legitimately shave my legs whenever I do it, like twice a year? It takes me like 4 hours.
Oh, don't shave them. Just let them grow, dude. I'm telling you, look, it's like mine used to be as black as night, but then you get a little older, and it just starts to blonde
It does.
out a little bit.
Mine was the same way. When
Yeah.
I was your age, Noah, my hair on my legs was thick and dark, and as you get older, it lightens up, and you don't even.
It takes
Yeah.
me like forever.
And here's the problem too, is I am a firm believer. This is the reason I would never shave my arm. I've heard that about the odor thing. I've never had a problem with armpit odor. Mm-hmm. Thank God. I know some people do, but
Sure.
my armpit hair is like it's like a baby's, like a hair on a baby's.
Right.
And I'm like, I don't want to touch that just because I know if I do, it'll probably grow back like just.
So that's
bristle.
a myth. That's a
Is
myth.
it?
Yeah,
Okay, that's a
totally a myth. Yeah, if you
That's
shave,
exactly where I was going with this. I was
if
going to
you
ask that very
shave
question.
your hair anywhere on your body,
Yeah.
it does not grow back thicker and darker and coarser and all that. It grows back
Yeah.
the exact same.
Really?
The exact same. Yeah.
Okay, so that's facts.
That's facts.
So that's just a big wives' tale.
That's a big wives' tale, 100%. Yeah. Yeah. If you shave your face, it's not going to make your hair on your face grow any more, any thicker,
Right.
any more coarse. It's just.
I
gonna
definitely
keep
don't think
coming
it makes it grow more.
back. No, it doesn't come back thicker.
For
or
sure.
Like that. No. Yeah. It doesn't. That's all wives' tales.
All wives'
If that
tales.
was the case, then the hair on my face would be as thick as this table right about now.
That's
because
true.
I shave constantly.
Sponsor, I've always been lucky to. I've always been able to grow a pretty good full beard thing. That's one thing. If you go back and watch the original version of this podcast, the first few episodes,
Yeah, you had a big
buddy.
old
I
beard,
was that was like a 6 months challenge. Me and
Yeah.
Laura had, and she says that I cut it too. I made it. I was like, just let me trim. Just let me like, I don't want the Martin Van Buren.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because mine just grows out. Mine does not grow this way. It just grows out.
Yeah.
It don't matter what I do.
Jack
to it.
Black.
Yes. Oh, yeah. Mine would just be this, the whole deal, you know?
The Karl
And I was like,
Marx.
yeah, the Karl Marx. Exactly. But I was like, just let me trim. And she's like, you trimmed it too much. So she still gets to pick a tattoo. Still, it hasn't happened yet, but this is still in the works. Yeah. So
Yeah, I'm a big fan of shaving my back and chest and belly. It feels very nice.
I probably should get into it. I've never tried it, to be honest. I said, I agreed to nair my back one time. That was
Yeah, so my only experience with nair, and I got the bikini wax nair, or the bikini nair.
Yeah.
To put on my balls.
Really?
Not a good idea.
I can
No,
imagine.
not a good idea. My balls were on fire.
Yeah.
On fire.
This is Josh Wild. This podcast needs a Manscaped sponsorship.
We do.
Manscaped, what's up?
Manscaped, reach
Hit us
out
up.
to us. We will.
Hit us
yeah,
up, baby.
We'll
This is an
do it.
untapped market here.
It
Us
is.
Southern Appalachian folk, we don't do a whole lot of below the waist grooming.
But we
so
should.
We
should.
should.
Yeah. Never nair your balls. Ever. Ever. This is what they will look like. They will look like.
That's perfect. Oh. Oh man, that's funny.
Sheer amount of pain. It would have been less painful to soak my balls in hydrofluoric acid.
Oh, I can imagine.
It would have been less painful.
Boy, it's a rough time down there, man.
Dude, what is up with Nair? How did that even become a product?
I guess it's one of them things. If you do it enough, you get used to it. My skin did not love it.
Let's burn the hair off with acids, with chemicals. Oh my god!
What is even in it?
I have no idea.
Look up what the active ingredient in Nair is. Let's find that out.
How do you spell that, first of all?
Nair, Nair, right?
Mm-hmm.
Nair.
Yep.
You never heard of this?
Nope.
Nair is a very popular hair removal, primarily female hair removal.
Okay. Water, mineral oil, calcium thioglycolate.
Ring a bell,
So
Josh?
many biology words.
Potassium.
Calcium hydroxide.
Calcium hydroxide. Wow. And potassium thioglycolate.
Hydrolyzed hyaluronic acid. Citrulus lanatus.
Watermelon.
Fruit extract. Citrulline.
Water.
Glycerin and fragrance.
So yeah, your mineral oil, calcium thioglycolate, and oh man,
Did you say calcium chloride?
calcium hydroxide.
That's probably your active ingredient, wouldn't it be?
Thioglycolic acid. Thioglycolic acid is the active ingredient.
Really?
Yeah, it is potassium thioglycolic. Whatever.
Thioglycolic acid.
Yeah, thioglycolic acid.
Well, good to know that they're watching out for us American consumers and our balls.
Yeah, I don't think. That will never, ever happen again.
No.
Nair will never touch my body ever again. Not a good experience. Do not recommend. Like, if you want it baby smooth down there, do the laser hair removals.
Yeah,
Do
there you go.
do laser hair removals, or just go get waxed.
There you go.
But no, Nair is bad news. Bad news, Nairs.
I'll tell you what we need to do. We need to find a local sponsor for us to get groomed.
We do. Grassy
This is a
Creek
good
barbershop.
Yeah. Integrative beauty and wellness.
Yep.
We'll advertise you do us up, right? Give us some, man, I'm not opposed to a mani and a patty.
No,
I'm a big fan.
Absolutely.
I have terrible. My hands and my toes, not so much, but my hands, buddy, they take a beating.
Yep.
I need some, cuticle treatment, the whole deal.
Yeah.
Not just hair.
No,
I get my hair cut by Megan at Integrative.
Okay.
She's been there she's kind of one of the ones that's been there for a long time. Shout out, Megan. Love you.
I always go to Grassy Creek Barber. Go see Tim. And
There you go. Hey, Tim. Can't go wrong.
Yep.
Good Tim. Timbo. All right, you want to get into some of these?
Yeah, let's talk about these stories here.
All right, so we got we're going to make a thing out of this, looking at some of the news stories here. So what's first on the list, Josh? You sent this in.
Okay, so we've got an entire herd of cattle that disappeared. They suspect theft.
Okay.
Someone stole an entire herd of cattle in Quebec.
I didn't even know the French Canadians were into cattle.
I didn't either, but apparently they are.
I have a friend who hates French Canadians, and he's Canadian himself.
That's understandable.
Yeah.
All right, what do we got here, Noah?
Do I just scroll down?
Go down and read that story to us there, Noah. Fix that microphone stand. There's no way that's actually picking you up. You're off axis.
What do you want me to do with it? It just...
Here. I'll tighten it up for you.
You don't even have to tighten it up. Just
Something's going on here.
Yeah.
Here we go. Thumbs up. Oh, it's the wrong way around.
there you go.
There you go.
In my defense, it was like that whenever I walked over here.
All good, brother. All good.
Let me put on my good stern reading voice.
There you go.
Stern reading voice. In Canada.
Jonathan Fortin woke up Friday morning to check on his herd of black Angus cattle, only to find his field was empty. Fortin, who co-owns firm for the French in Quebec Quebec's eastern townships, said he initially thought his calves and cows might have got loose, but the presence of tire tracks and a fence appeared to have been dismantled, led him to conclude that something more sinister had occurred. All my herd, close to 75 animals, were stolen, he said in an interview on Monday.
Someone stole an entire. I bet it's an inside job. I bet he did.
That's what I thought the first time I read it. That has to be an inside job of some sort.
Like,
how are you going to know how to? I mean, I guess you can get cattle on a truck, but like,
how do you? Well, I don't know.
Did the cattle get repoed?
He missed his cattle payment.
He did. He missed the payment from the bank. Or maybe this is another in a long line of Canadian socialists.
Yeah, I wonder if he said something unpopular.
Trudeau stole the cattle.
Yeah,
my question.
He seized the means of cattle production.
How do you steal 75 cows?
I guess,
not get noticed,
and not there's no sound, no nothing.
I don't know. Mooing. I mean, is there even a vehicle that can hold that many cows? One vehicle?
I don't know how many.
So we're talking about a multi-vehicle operator. There's no way 75 cows can fit in one tractor trailer.
I'm going to look it up. I'm going to see how many cows can fit inside of a tractor and trailer. I don't know. That's a great question. And these are they use the metric system there, so they're different cows. They're metric cows.
I guess God wanted to sacrifice his back.
The meters cows.
They're cow
meters cows, eh?
Cow meters.
Cow meters.
Cows per Terrence and Phillip.
How many head of cattle are in a metric head of cattle?
So on a 24-foot trailer, a trailer can safely haul up to 11 cows.
So usually the biggest tractor, is like
28 to 30. 28 to 30.
So we're talking about at least a double.
At least
if you're packing them in there.
I mean, I would say 3 tractor and trailers.
That's crazy. You need to get some security cameras, pal.
Dude, for real.
You need to get some security cameras.
And like, how does, again, I don't know this guy's situation. I don't know how close his field is to his house. Yeah. But how in the hell do you miss that?
I don't know. Maybe he offered them some baguettes and crepes. They were French cattle.
Oh, they were French cattle.
So maybe he pulled up and there's a guy in the back of the cattle trailer like, ooh, we have crepes
and wine
and cheese. He's painting.
Yeah.
And the cattle are like, oh shit, here we go.
Oh man, he's got berets. Let's go.
Yes, exactly. Like, this is our people. These are our people.
They painted themselves black and white to fit in.
Yeah. There you go. And we're not talking about inexpensive. These are Angus beef
Black
cattle.
Angus beef cattle. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
You can't move that many livestock in a Honda Civic or a Toyota Corolla.
That's what it said. You can't move it.
Taken between 6 p.m. and 9:30. He was out working a second job. His neighbors reported seeing trailer lights and hearing a commotion in his field, but at the time they assumed it was buyers coming to pick up cattle. He lost $200,000 worth of livestock.
Jesus.
And represents a good portion of his savings for 4 hard years working and building his farm.
So 200,000 divided by 75. How much is a cattle worth?
Mm-hmm.
Well, shoot.
Cattle are usually worth up to $1 to $2 grand.
Divided by 75. Wow. $2,600 a cattle, or $2,700 nearly.
Wow.
So it was tractor and it was trailers that took his cattle.
Maybe these people are onto something. We got cattle all over the place around here. Maybe we need to steal some cattle.
Maybe we need to go to the tractor.
You guys kind of monetize this podcast. Let's steal some cattle.
Steal cattle.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. $200,000. All we need to do, God, we need 2-3 semis.
Mm-hmm.
And 75 cows.
Hell, the first heist would pay for the tractor and trailers.
I know.
And then after that, it's just all
profit.
So step 1, buy tractor and trailers. Step 2, steal cows.
Yeah.
Step 3, profit.
Yeah. There you go. That's it. What's next? What else we got here?
Ohio man plans to take a 2-person submersible to to Titanic depths to show the industry is safe after the Ocean Gate tragedy.
He's at it again.
Dude, you better watch out. It better not be fiberglass. What in the world ever? Okay. And first of all, this Ocean Gate idiot. What in the world ever made anybody think that fiberglass would survive at a depth?
I mean, that's what most bathtubs are made out of, and they hold water, so I could see it was tender reason that...
I don't understand this. Why do these people do this stuff?
I don't know, dude.
Jim Cameron already went there.
He did.
I mean, what else do we need to see? There was
Send
a
him
movie.
back. Send him back.
Send Jim Cameron back.
Yep.
Call Jim Cameron if you want to go.
Submersible imploded. Yeah.
So what's different about his?
To show this touchdown can be carried out repeatedly and safely despite the implosion.
Good luck, pal.
You know, what we need to do is build a sub that can dive to Titanic level depths repeatedly and safely to demonstrate to the world that you guys can, in fact, do that, and the Titan was a contraption.
Oh, so he's actually building a submarine. He's not building a contraption. So he says.
Okay, so he says.
All right.
I saw Jim Cameron after this whole debacle here, and I thought or maybe it wasn't Jim. What's the other guy that was with him?
I don't know.
Bob, something or other. Bob.
I don't know. I'll look it up.
Oh, he's a famous oceanographer. Bob Backlund.
Bob Ross.
I just want to know who thought this was a good idea.
I don't know, man. I mean, I guess, but I think it was either Jim Cameron or Bob Ballard. That's his name.
Bob Ballard.
Bob
Yeah.
Ballard,
Yep,
yes.
it was.
So I think it was Bob Ballard I heard it saying. And I mean, obviously, this guy knows a little something about stuff like this. But what he was saying that there needs to be a regulatory body that oversees.
Yes.
And not just overseas, but I don't think he was calling for like government regulation because it's international waters.
It is.
For a lot of this stuff. But some organization that would certify these things to be safe, especially if you're taking tourists out.
But who's going to take on that kind of liability? Oh my gosh.
I
mean, that you're
I guess
certified.
You're right. Yeah.
That's...
Well, I think, like, according to what I heard Bob say, was that, like, they got a pretty good idea of what the construction needs to be for it to, like, there's proven, like, this Ocean Gate company was one of a few companies that do this kind of thing, and everybody else has had pretty much a flawless track record.
Yes.
But that their design apparently was questionable from the beginning, was what I heard.
Yes.
That this whole fiberglass thing was kind of a sham to begin with.
I mean, it was controlled with an old Xbox controller. Is that right?
Yeah.
Is that what I heard?
Okay.
Was it an old Xbox controller?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, that's crazy. That's crazy.
The subsequent disaster raised concerns, with some experts calling on the industry to reassess to taking people to such a remote location. But LaHaye said he believed that OceanGate's problem were reflective of the wider industry, adding that class submersibles were considered very safe because of the extensive testing they undergo. Rob McCallum, a former OceanGate consultant who'd warned Rush about the safety of the Titan, agreed with the assessment. In the sense OceanGate did make the industry look bad, McCallum told, it makes us look good.
Well, good. He's putting his reputation on the stake, on the line, or at stake.
So because I think he's basically saying, like, we can do this. We just had a flop that killed 5 people.
Sure. Why not?
Now, but is this guy associated with OceanGate?
No, I don't believe so. I believe it's a separate guy.
Okay.
Yes, but he's speaking with a former
consultant.
Former consultant.
Okay.
I want to be a consultant. They make a lot of money.
Dude, I'll consult on anything.
Let's be consultants.
It's like, what do you think about this?
Let's start a consulting firm.
Dude, let's do it. That's another step 1. Become a consultant, which is you just say you are.
Yeah, exactly. You just assert that you're a consultant. You're like, okay.
Step 2, consult. Step 3, rake in cash.
Profit.
Yeah.
I like it.
I like it too. I think it's an unbelievable.
We're consultants at this point.
We're small-time
All right.
banker consultants.
Next. What's next?
Homeless man sent out of city to make room for Taylor's.
Homeless sent out of city to make room for Taylor Swift fans.
Arguably, I think they're the same.
So are
people.
the Swifties occupying the homeless encampment? I don't get it.
Let me read. A number of homeless people have been sent out by Edinburgh to make way for the tourists ahead of Taylor Swift performing in the city.
See, she's doing good things. It's like Xi Jinping coming to town.
I know.
That's what they did in San Francisco. They cleaned up the whole city just because the president of China came.
They did. Yeah.
Shelter Scotland said several homeless people it supports have been sent via taxi to Aberdeen and Glasgow amid a shortage of an accommodation. And one person offered temporary accommodation as far away as Newcastle. The housing charity said it was a blatant injustice for homeless people to be in direct competition with tourists. Edinburgh City Council said it was working
I
with
completely disagree.
affected households to find appropriate alternative accommodation. Taylor Swift,
I don't get it.
we
Wait a minute.
plan-
Are they housing homeless in Airbnbs? What is going on?
Taylor Swift will be playing 3 nights at Edinburgh's Murrayfield Stadium from June 7th to June 9th. Hundreds of thousands of fans are set to flock to the city, and competition for hotel rooms is fierce. The housing charity said people being declared homeless in Edinburgh who would usually be offered temporary accommodation, such as hotels, are being sent out of the city due to severe shortage of accommodation caused by the concert. There is no evidence of homeless people being removed from accommodation where they are already staying.
This story completely contradicts itself.
Okay, so they're not moving the homeless out because they look bad. They're
Okay.
moving them out to accommodate Taylor Swift fans.
So they're housing these people in hotels.
I assume so. That's all I can take from this. Yes.
Well, if I was in Edinburgh, I would be all for it. I'd get them out of here.
I mean,
I don't want to sound cold-hearted, but if given the option between homeless or
but
Swiftie.
they don't have encampments in Edinburgh. I don't think. I think if they are housing them in hotels, at least there's not people shitting on the streets like in San Francisco.
That's true, I guess.
If they're actually housing them, maybe that's the kind of private public partnership we need to
Step one,
step 1.
be homeless.
Yes. Step 2, live in hotel.
Right.
Step 3, profit.
Yeah.
No,
Exactly.
Step 1, become homeless. Step 2, go to Scotland. Step
Oh
3,
yeah, we got to go to
Yeah,
Scotland.
we have to make it a Scotland.
Step 3, get an hotel. Step 4, profit.
Profit.
How about this? What if you were homeless and a Swiftie fan? What if you
Oh,
were homeless
shit.
and had tickets to the Eras tour?
Oh man,
Homeless people don't have tickets to the Eras tour.
they
You know how much
they
those
have
are?
not considered that.
What if they just wanted to stand outside and listen? It's an arena.
It is an arena. It is.
A lot of homeless around the arenas. A lot of homeless.
I wonder how many. I'm going to see how many homeless Swifties there are.
I don't think that's a statistic, but you go.
I bet it is.
How many homeless people are also Taylor Swift fans? A pie chart. Or no, a
many
cross,
homeless
what do they call that?
people like
Pie
Taylor
chart?
A Venn diagram.
Swift?
I don't know, man. I just work here.
Boy, this is the BBC doing some hard-hitting reporting, baby.
Yeah.
And then at the end of it, it says, there is no evidence that this happened. It's like, okay, thank
That's
you.
the BBC. Oh, you got a license for that truth.
You know,
It doesn't say that all the stories are just about how homeless are being sent away from Edinburgh to make way for.
I mean, this might be a unpopular opinion, but fuck them. Who cares?
I mean, again, it goes back to South Park. I like South Park's approach to the homeless. Have you
Yeah.
seen the episode of
I haven't.
Okay, well, Randy Marsh suggested that we use them for tires on our car.
Jeez.
I'm gonna keep a portable homeless dude in my bag at all times.
Not that all homeless are bad, but again, if I was a resident of Edinburgh, I'd be like, you're sending the homeless out? It don't even sound like they're homeless. It sounds like they have a home. It's a hotel room.
A hotel room, yeah.
So what are we doing here? Again, why are they even homeless? They're not homeless at all. They got a home.
No, they have a home. It's the Edinburgh Hotel 6.
Right. What's the problem? I don't get it. If they're not paying, again, if they're not paying and they can charge whatever they want to, basically, to have Taylor Swift fans come and stay there, then why?
Yeah, it's so I guess the government or a nonprofit or both are paying the hotel rooms for these homeless people.
I suppose they are.
I don't know.
How does the Scottish homeless
industrial complex work?
Yes, exactly. That's what we need.
Big homeless.
Big homeless.
Big homeless.
That's what will end up happening. Big homeless. Good grief.
I didn't even know there were homeless people in Europe. I thought it was possible.
They had them.
Besides Britain.
They had them well. They had them in hotel rooms.
Yeah.
Well, then are they homeless? If they have,
Exactly.
if they have
That's what I'm
hotel room, are
saying.
they
I don't
homeless?
even think that this whole story makes sense. They're not even homeless.
I mean, I guess they're homeless in the so far that they don't own or rent a home themselves. They are, they're wards of the state.
Right. Well, if you're wards of the state, then you need to go to Newcastle or wherever. Go to Newcastle. All right. What's next?
Are any of these Twitter tabs relevant?
Good grief.
Yeah, all the tabs.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
This is one chase yet.
So you got to play this video.
Okay.
You can make it big.
Man's facing charges for driving without a license. What does he do? He calls his while driving without
You gotta
a
watch
license.
You gotta watch this.
Already here. Okay, so Chase, tell us what's going on here with this guy.
Okay, so this guy is being he's in virtual court for driving without a license.
Okay. Alrighty. Okay. All right. Hit play, Noah.
Actually, I'm pulling into my doctor's office, actually. So I'll just give me 1 second. I'm parking right now.
That judge is just like, what is good? What?
He's
You
like,
stationary?
I'm pulling in right now at this second. Yes, I am.
Oh my
All right.
God.
What are we doing?
Your Honor, we are respectfully requesting an adjournment in this matter, up possibly 2 to 4 weeks if the court would allow.
No.
Okay. So maybe I don't understand something. This is your driving while license suspended,
That is correct, Your Honor.
and he was just driving, and
Oh my God.
he didn't
this is
have
the
a
look
license.
of realization on his face.
Oh. He's
That is
like,
with the charges, Your Honor, yes.
No, I'm looking at his
Yes.
record. He doesn't have a license. He's suspended, and he's just driving.
That is correct, Your Honor.
Look at it. He's like, oh,
he's
no.
like, oh shit, I'm so screwed.
Oh,
Oh my God, dude.
The judge can't contain himself. He's the smirk on his face, and Corey down here looks very displeased.
He's like, I'm not gonna say anything. I'm still sitting in the car.
Oh my God.
Hello?
1 minute, Mr. Harris.
Oh my gosh. And I assume that lady's his attorney.
Yes.
Well,
So
yeah.
imagine being her. in
Oh,
this situation.
I don't even know why he would do that. So, defendant's bond is revoked in this matter.
Oh.
Defendant is to turn himself into the Washington County Jail by 6 p.m. today. Failure to turn himself in will result in a bench warrant with no bond.
His face.
Yeah.
He's like, oh man, I stepped in
Dude.
it.
So stupid.
Thank you.
Your Honor. Mr. Harris, I'll be giving you a call.
You got to think about what
So
you're doing,
stupid.
pal.
I bet she called him and was like, "What the hell is wrong with you?"
Right? I thought that was hilarious.
Oh my god!
Just a case of one of those where you're not thinking. I mean, I'm not even going to call the guy dumb, but it's like
I am. That's dumb.
it's pretty dumb. It's
dumb.
pretty dumb. I'll give you that. But I mean, it's just the classic case of you are not thinking at all about what you are doing.
Here's the thing, and if somebody gets caught driving without a license, you caught them once. They've done it 1,000,000 times.
1,000 times. 1,000 times.
Now, I wonder if his car does he have insurance?
I guess you'd probably have to. I guess. I don't know. If you don't have a license, I don't guess you do have insurance.
I don't guess you do.
Because you can't. Oh, this was one thing I got caught in one time. So, this was the person I knew that was from out of state was trying to get a license in North Carolina to drive. Well, in order to get your license, you need your insurance. Well, then the insurance place was telling us that we needed a license to get the insurance. Where do you go from there?
Oh my god!
This person went back and forth, 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 and finally, this person came unglued at the DMV officer and was like, "I don't know what the hell you want me to do here. Like, everybody's telling me that I need the other thing to get one thing. Somebody's gonna have to give." And it was old Shuford. Remember Shuford out there?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. He finally gave in. I think he was tired of hearing the bitching, but that's ridiculous.
Here's one for you.
Sure.
So when I was at ETSU, I lived in a little apartment, and me and my buddy Jerry McKinney, we were leaving, and on the way to the road that goes to where my apartment was, there was a house where some Mexicans lived.
Yeah.
And they were in their car. It was a minivan, actually. Stopped at the stop sign right in front of their house. I pulled in behind them.
Sure.
They put it in reverse, backed into my car in the road. Did damage, the whole 9 yards. Okay. So we wait. Finally, cops get there. They talk to them in Spanish. I can't understand them. They tell the cops I rear-ended them. And I was like, that's absolutely not what happened. I was so pissed. So pissed. And anyway, long story, they didn't have insurance, no license, not here legally.
Right.
Whole 9 yards. So I was like, yeah, I'm filing a report, and they're taking care of this. This is happening. So, we did. Well, my car that I was driving at the time, it was a red 2007 Dodge Caliber that I had purchased. It was the first car I'd ever financed. Every other car, I just bought a cheap car and paid cash for. This is the first new car I ever bought. Wasn't much. It was like a $20,000 car. Mm-hmm. But my granddad co-signed for me on the car. Mm-hmm. And, okay, that situation happened. Didn't think anything of it. Fast forward 2 days. My friend Jerry calls me, and he was like, dude, he lived in Burnsville, or in Yancey County. Yeah. He's like, Yancey County Sheriff's Department is here looking for your granddad. I was like, say what? It's like, yeah. Yancey County Sheriff's Department is here looking for Roy McKinney. I was like, why? I don't know. They came in and searched my house.
They searched the house?
They searched his house. So I was like, okay, I got to figure out what the hell's going on here.
Right.
So I called Washington County Police Department, explained the whole situation. I was like, what in the hell's going on? Okay, well, apparently there was a fugitive at large in Tennessee named Roy McKinney. And when my car was involved in this accident that had his name attached to it, They just assumed it was the same Roy McKinney, and they contacted Yancey County, and they sent sheriff's deputies out to. For some reason, they went to Jerry's house looking for my granddad, who was not the person they were looking for, obviously.
Right.
So I called them, and I called Mitchell County because they contacted them too,
Right.
and they were about to go to my grandparents' house, and luckily it was Donald Street, and,
Right.
He had enough forethought to ask if the description of this other Roy McKinney was in his 50s and 340 pounds. And I was like, no, this Roy McKinney is in his 70s and is like $1.20 soaking wet. This is not clearly the same guy.
Not the same guy.
But yeah, apparently there was in a case of mistaken identity, my granddad could have been arrested and charged with the crimes of this Roy McKinney in Tennessee.
What did he do?
I have no idea. No idea what he did.
Some heinous crime.
Something heinous, I'm sure.
Heinous. Heinous is a great word for some reason.
It is. It is.
Heinous is
But that whole situation, I was just like, what the hell is...
That's crazy.
It is.
I lived over in Swannanoa for a few years, whatever, and there was some guy they were looking for in that area that drove a truck that fit the. I had a little Nissan Frontier, gray Nissan Frontier.
I remember the Nissan Frontier.
Yes, and apparently that my truck fit that description. I bet you I got pulled over 8 times.
Yeah.
Of them different officers looking because it would come up that this was like a description or whatever. But yeah, talk about minding your P's and Q's. Do that. That's crazy though. All right, what's next, Noah?
Oh, another video.
This one does. This one's not even necessary to have sound. It really doesn't have much sound.
Oh, okay.
This is if you make it big. So this is what last week I was talking about with this girl in Portugal, I believe, captured this. She's just filming a video, TikTok or whatever. Look, giant meteor.
Holy shit! Wow.
What an incredible happenstance view of that meteor.
I saw this on TikTok. I didn't believe it.
Did you?
No.
No, apparently this has been, I looked into it. This has been authenticated that this was real.
That's cool.
Wow, play it one more time. I mean, look at this.
Lights up the whole sky.
Yeah, as it would.
And goes right over. That's the shot of the lifetime.
Wow.
That's like a 1 in a million chance of happening.
I know. Well, how crazy is that?
That girl should go buy a lottery ticket.
Also, meteors, super crazy. Yes, she should go buy a lottery ticket. There's been 100 videos of this for dash cams and everything else.
Yeah.
That is the most incredible of all of them. Right
It
there.
is.
Wow.
That's cool. Yeah, I saw it on TikTok. I was like, that's not.
I thought I'd send that over to you just because we talked about it.
That's awesome. Hey, you know what? Go over to the mixer and scroll down so I can see the audio coming from our. Okay, cool. Yeah, I just want to.
Boom.
Yeah, boom. Thank you. Wow.
Yeah, it's crazy.
That's incredible.
I know.
That's
wild,
incredible.
man. I'm telling you, I think we're. It's amazing though. Even something like that. I mean, that right there is realistically probably the size of a refrigerator.
Yeah.
And it caused that.
If it didn't get burned up in the atmosphere and if it struck, what do you think would happen?
There's a woman. Have you seen that? It's like a 1950, maybe 1940s or 1950s. Some woman was literally sitting in her living room, listening to a radio. It's before TV and stuff. Literally sitting in there. A giant meteor comes through the roof of her house, hits the radio, and bounces off and hits her in the hip. And creates this giant contusion or whatever. Yeah, it's one of the only people that's ever been known to have hit directly by a meteorite, basically. And even at that, it hit her radio first.
Right.
And
if it hit her, it may have killed her.
Oh, sure. Yeah, they said the only reason she survived is because it was not a direct hit or whatever. But could you imagine that?
Wow.
Sitting in your living room and a meteor. What if we were just doing this and the meteor just
comes and lands in the floor? Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, believe it or not, we live in a intergalactic firing range.
We are. I mean, dude, we're literally on a ball hurling through space.
Yeah.
At unfathomable speeds.
And people say that this whole, the whole younger dryas thing or whatever is, that's not. Dude, that's completely feasible. We pass through the Taurid meteor stream twice a year, once in July and I think again in November. And which is literally like passing through a firing range.
It is. It is full of shrapnel.
Yeah. Of tails of comets, of, whatever.
I mean, they killed the dinosaurs.
I think it's happened a lot more than we want to think.
I think it has too.
Yeah.
I'm grateful at least now. At least I think that we have the technology to maybe mitigate it if something happens.
The scary ones are the ones that are coming behind the bigger planets in our solar system that we can't see.
Right.
Like what was that? Shoemaker Levy.
Yeah.
That hit Jupiter. Remember that?
Yep.
We never saw that one coming until it was like right on top.
Yeah.
Now, granted, it was not coming directly at us.
No.
But we never saw that one coming because it was coming from the opposite side.
Right.
Now I'm sure we've gotten better at that over the years, and I would hope at least that governmental agencies and things would be looking closely at that. But that's the scary thought, is that one's coming from a direction that we just simply cannot see it or detect it, It's wild. You start looking at I'll tell you what's a cool rabbit hole to go down is, we picture the solar system as this like model that we saw when we were in grade school.
Right.
It's like, here's the sun, here's Mercury, here's Venus, here's, Well, it's not really like that.
No.
All of it, like the Earth's up here rotating in this direction. Jupiter's out here doing this. And it's all elliptical rotations.
Right.
Some of them are more elliptical than others. Some of them pass super close to are way close. What is it? I think it's Neptune and Uranus switch positions.
They do.
At some point,
There's a joke
Neptune
there
is the
somewhere.
furthest away. Now that we've proved supposedly that Pluto is not a planet, but at one point Neptune is further, and then at one point Uranus is further. That's how their orbits work. And so we think of it as in this very like lineal thing, but it's not at all.
No.
It's not at all.
No.
So there's a lot of things. There's blind spots in our solar system that we don't see, especially behind like Saturn and Jupiter, because those are such huge planets. That's what Jupiter's like 100 and some odd times the size of Earth or something like that.
It's massive.
Huge.
And that's terrifying.
It is terrifying. I mean, we could literally. There's a realistic possibility that, like, oh my God, tomorrow we see something that we didn't know and it's headed right for us. And what do you do? I would think that we would have a way to either blow the sucker up or. The good thing about it is
nuclear warheads, maybe some kind of ICBM.
It's realistic. I mean,
is that a thing?
Yes. Okay. Apparently it is. I heard Neil deGrasse Tyson talk about it.
Okay,
I've heard a couple of
anything he says about anything.
Well, I don't necessarily either, but
he loves to. Okay. He loves to hear the sound of his own voice and the way he talks about things. Makes me want to blow my head off.
I know. I can't listen to see him. I can't stand to hear him talk either.
No,
I do think he's probably pretty smart in what's going on. But I've heard a couple other people talk about that too. It's like
Michio Kaku.
Yes,
Michio Kaku.
I think I heard him talk about this too,
my
actually. But I mean, most comets are. I mean, you're talking about. I mean, the comet that killed comet. Was it comet or meteor? Meteor that killed the dinosaurs. They said was really only like 20 miles wide.
Right. Yeah, it wasn't.
So it's not like you're not an extinction level event can be caused by something as small as like a couple miles. Mm-hmm. So I mean, realistically, if a nuclear warhead, our biggest nuclear warhead, would absolutely obliterate that thing into 1,000 million pieces, theoretically.
It would.
Theoretically.
Fun fact: if the Earth, or not the Earth, if the Sun imploded, you wouldn't know until 16 minutes later, and you'd be evaporated instantly.
Really?
Yeah. Takes 16 minutes for us to be turned to dust if the sun imploded.
There's another scary prospect.
Actually, no. I got it wrong. If the Earth imploded, you would know for 16 minutes.
I'll tell you another one. If Earth lost all gravity.
Oh, yeah.
That's another scary one.
Yep.
We would all just be pink mist in a matter of seconds.
Mm-hmm. We would.
If the Earth stopped rotating or stopped orbiting for some reason.
Yep.
We would just be gone.
Yeah.
In this blink of an eye.
Poof.
Wow.
Yeah.
Kind of like those guys in that submersible.
Just like the guys in the submersible.
They just turned into pink mist.
Yeah.
Space is a very horrifying thing.
As is the deep sea.
Yeah.
I heard this story. Of
See, that's a lesson. You don't want to go too high. You don't want to go too low.
No.
You got to keep it right down the
That
middle.
Goldilocks zone, man.
A Goldilocks zone. That's right.
I was watching this video. It was on astrophobia, the fear of space.
Yeah.
And one of the astronauts that went to the moon described seeing Earth from the moon and said it was really depressing and it was really scary because we were so small in this just vast darkness. You can't see anything.
I would give anything to view Earth from space. I think that would be the coolest thing.
It would be. It would be.
I don't necessarily want to go live on Mars, maybe. Depending on my circumstances at the moment.
Yeah. It would depend on what would happen if we didn't go live on Mars. Like what's the trade-off?
Well, the trade-off is eventually the sun, even if we're not impacted by a meteor or a comet or something like that in the next couple million years, eventually the sun expands, the Earth becomes completely uninhabitable and turns into Venus.
Mm-hmm. But so that means that Mars becomes the next Earth.
Theoretically, I think the idea is that it still needs some help.
Oh,
but
sure.
Even I've heard Elon Musk even toss around the idea of like
terraforming it.
Yeah, terraforming it and literally creating an atmosphere. Like he's like basically if you created an ever exploding like nuclear reactor at both poles.
So
theoretically,
what's up with all the Musk hate?
I don't know. The guy gets so much hate for I think all of it stems back from his whole stance on free speech.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, I don't like what he says. Well, you don't have to like what he says because the guy's single-handedly changing the trajectory of mankind. Pretty much. Well, I'd say single-handedly. I think he has playing a huge role in it. Huge role in it.
I think a lot of people hate him just because he's a billionaire. And so this is one of my pet peeves right here. People don't understand billionaires. I've heard this so many times from people arguing against because they say I've heard plenty of people say billionaires should not exist. No one in the world needs that much money. And my response is always, well, they don't have that much money. They have assets worth that much, estimated, but they don't have. There's this idea, this misnomer. Is that the word I'm looking for? Misnomer?
Yeah, misnomer, yeah.
There's this misnomer that billionaires have just billions of dollars in their bank accounts. Right. And, they have their, Scrooge McDuck towers that they go dive into all the coins and swim through them, which Family Guy pointed out that it is not a liquid. It is many solids that, you would break your legs if you go into. But the idea is from this certain group of people that these billionaires, they think they have billions of dollars, and they don't. They have assets that are worth that much.
Yeah.
That if liquidated, would be a portion of that.
People don't understand the concept of liquidity and hard assets.
No,
like you don't. Because you've never been rich,
right?
Or you've never been in that position. It's
Elon Musk does have enough money to do whatever he wants.
Oh, sure.
Sure. But it's often, tossed around, well, if they have all this money, why don't they do this or do that to help humanity? Give everybody this amount of money. Well, that's not how it works.
No.
That's not how it works. That's not how any of this works.
No, it's not.
That is no more prevalent than Mr. Beast.
That's another guy that gets all kinds of hate.
He does.
All kinds of hate. The guy bought a whole grocery store and everybody. No, what did he? No, what was the other thing he got hated on for? He paid for people's medical bills or something. And everybody was like, oh.
No, what really started it is he paid to cure blindness. he cured blindness in people.
Oh wait, now
And then everybody hurt.
how did he do that? I'm curious.
I can pull up the video right now. You have to watch it.
Paid for a bunch of people to have surgery.
Oh, okay, cool.
Not literally invent a cure for
That's
blindness.
what. Okay, yeah. The way you got to
Yeah.
be careful about how you phrase things, Noah. Because I was like, wait a minute, what?
Yeah, he paid for a bunch of surgery for people to have their eyesight back, and I think he
Right.
did the same thing for deaf people. And the internet mobbed him.
Yeah.
Why? What was their problems?
It's been a while, but it was more along the lines of oh, why can't you do this for the whole world?
Same reason Jesus got hung on a cross. I think it's mob rule. You know what I mean?
It is
honestly,
mob rule.
You know,
It is. It's like
I do. I mean, regardless of what you think about the story of Jesus, I think the story itself, regardless of whether you whatever you think about Jesus or whatever, is probably pretty accurate because that's usually what happens to people like that.
yeah,
You know?
yeah.
Usually, that's what happens is you do something. And Mr. Beast is proof of it. I mean,
And
I
they've
think
made him a martyr.
yeah,
Huh.
it's crazy.
Wow.
crazy.
Why do that? Just because. So they're hating on him because he couldn't do that for the entire world.
Right.
They're hating on him more along the lines of just because he did it type deal.
The internet will figure out any way to hate you for whatever. You could,
They will.
honest to God, cure world hunger and somebody would have a problem with it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's the truth. You could feed everybody on the planet. Oh, you
like-
feed me. You didn't feed these people enough. Well, you didn't. Everybody complains, dude.
That's exactly kind of what happened whenever he posted that video. It was like, why aren't you doing this or that or this type
Right.
deal? Like what you're describing.
I do
with-
remember the grocery store that was great.
Yeah.
When he bought the grocery store.
That's pretty good.
And the guy had
Good
to
for
stay in
Jimmy.
there. How long did he have to stay in the grocery store?
I can't remember.
He got $10,000 a day basically.
Yeah, I think it was something like that.
I think he is a financial
Fellow
genius.
Yes, he is. Fellow North Carolinian. Let's go.
Yeah.
Good for Jimmy.
Shoot
What's his
ya.
last name?
Jimmy.
Ender Hergensen or something like that. Can't remember.
Oh my God.
James
Hergenstein.
Donaldson. Or
Donaldson.
Jimmy
Donaldson.
Yeah.
Jimmy Donaldson.
Jimmy Donaldson.
Okay, when you said Steen, I was like, wait, what?
Of course. What else is on the list there, Noah? On the tabs. Oh my God. Okay. Yeah. Okay. While this is being read, I'm gonna go pee because this is the greatest thing of all time.
Okay. Alrighty. We can take a pee break. We'll wait for you to come back.
Okay. So this is the greatest thing to ever hit the internet ever, and I don't know how.
Okay.
I think it's from last year, but I don't know how I missed this. But it's literally the greatest thing I've ever heard in my life.
Okay.
So
All right.
I put some lube on and got him on his knees. And I began to slide into him from behind. I pulled out of him and kissed him while he masturbated. He asked me to turn over while he slipped a condom on himself. This was my ass, and I was struggling to imagine someone inside me. He got on top and slowly inserted himself into me. It was the worst pain I think I have ever felt in my life. Eventually, I felt a mix of pleasure with the pain. I got a new strap-on harness today. I can't wait to put it on you. It will fit my favorite dildo perfectly. You're going to look so hot. I can't wait to have your cock in my mouth. I'm going to give you the blowjob of your life. Then I want you in.
it's the greatest. Okay, and I'm sorry to anybody who got bombarded with that, but oh my God, Mr. Massey here. I really actually do respect this guy as like a senator or whatever he is.
I do
think,
too,
it's a
actually.
senator.
A lot, yeah.
Yeah, he's actually a pretty principled guy, but he's reading from one of these woke, whatever they call these things. And it is, with his accent, is internet gold.
So he's reading from a book that I'm assuming he thinks does not belong in a school library, which I would have to agree with him. And it's so funny how these, they're like, it's almost like that's the reaction they want. They're like, okay, let's introduce this crazy, insane thing.
Right.
Elicit a reaction, and then off that reaction, we can be like, they want to ban books. They want to burn books. You know who else banned and burned books? The Nazis. Okay. Have you read these books?
Right.
No book should be banned from public libraries.
Right. Period. End of discussion.
Schools, however,
are a completely different story.
100%.
Yeah. I think there's a real clear distinction there.
There is.
I don't think anybody's arguing about banning books, but when it comes to these types of things that are, that's obviously, this is my ass.
It's smut. That is smut.
It is smut.
Yeah, but it's literally just sex writing.
Yeah.
It's pornography.
I mean, that is a completely, okay, let me ask you this. I want to ask women who are into romance novels, some of these romance novels. Okay, let's take like an Anne Rice book. Mm-hmm. There's literally Anne Rice books where they, in a very erotic way, like impale a dude on a phallic statue, in like some ritualistic, weird, like vampire thing or whatever. Would you be okay with that being in an elementary school library? Because that's pretty much what this is, right?
I mean, I would argue that this is way worse than that. But
100%, because that's obviously fantasy. Mm-hmm. This is like playing out a real life. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
Come on. And there's no way, the public school system should not have to endorse something like that.
I don't know. I mean, all right, let's play devil's advocate here. Well, maybe, just maybe, children should learn about the difference between... I can't even...
I feel like you're digging yourself down a hole here. I don't like where this is going.
Oh, I'm joking. No, this is obviously abhorrent. It's like... It's almost like... Did you see on Kill Tony the other day when Dr. Phil was on and this guy was like, I was molested by 4 people when I was a kid. And the guy was like, Dr. Phil was like, which one was your favorite?
Exactly.
Who was your favorite?
I don't know. Good grief. We got anything else on there, Noah?
I believe that was it.
Was that it?
Yeah, that's everything.
That it?
Yeah.
Well,
what a note to end on. Thomas Massey.
That was a good one. Thomas Massey.
Thomas Massey.
Right. We were calling him James, not James. Thomas. God bless him. God bless his little soul.
I agree with you. I actually like Thomas Massey. I think he's a very principled individual.
Yeah, I do too. Boy, he sounds country and cow shit, though, don't he?
He's as country as a biscuit.
He is. A cathead biscuit.
I think he's from Virginia. Is that right?
I think so. Yeah. Good on the Commonwealth up there.
Yeah.
Gotta love the good old Commonwealth of Virginia. Virginia's for lovers. You know that, Noah?
What type of lovers are we talking about?
All lovers of all kinds. They're inclusive. A bunch of inclusive folk up there.
West Virginia.
West Virginia. Okay, of course.
Yeah, West Virginia.
In that case, clean up your coal mines. Josh, anything else, pal?
Oh, man. Yeah, like, share, and subscribe. Share this out to all of your friends, and we are taking advertising applications right now, so please, if you'd like to advertise with us, reach out.
I want to make something clear. Somebody did ask me at one point. When we say subscribe, this for you who are not familiar with the YouTube thing, we'll make this very clear. This is not... I think subscribe to some people carries with it that there's a subscription fee of some sort. This is completely free on YouTube.
Yeah.
And still, a lot of people that watch and listen are not subscribed. I would encourage all of you, please go and like our page and subscribe. It costs you nothing. All you have to have is a Gmail account. That's it.
And the more people that subscribe to this channel, the more views we get, the bigger guests we can get.
Yep.
The better content we can bring y'all. The more ideas, the more that the more people support this, the more it will become something that we can provide a higher value product for y'all. And
Yep.
that's what we want to do.
That's
we want
it.
to provide good, high quality entertainment.
Like Thomas Massey reading
Yes, yeah, just like Thomas Massey reading
books.
genderqueer books from the public school. I want to before we go, I want to look up the context of that because I got to know what book he was reading.
I think it was
hilarious.
that genderqueer book or something. I believe that's the one that's created all the controversy.
Okay, so he was born in West Virginia, but he's a Kentucky congressman. Kentucky.
Oh,
He's
Kentucky!
in Kentucky.
Shout out Kentucky. Indy 500 was electric. That's not in Kentucky. That's in Indiana. What am I thinking?
Senate hearing community. Is that right?
A Kentucky Derby. That's what I'm thinking.
Committee hearing.
I think it was a Senate Judiciary Committee hearing.
Senate Judiciary Committee. Yes. I feel like I have more questions than I have answers to. Why he even got that in the first place? Who let that through?
This is what our. Did you see where?
I can't find it.
Yeah.
Like that story is so buried.
Did you see where AOC and Marjorie Taylor Greene were just talking absolute smack to one each other?
Was it AOC? I don't think it was AOC.
No, you're right. It was another.
It was the black lady.
Girl. You know,
Yeah.
like in the
Yeah.
middle of.
Yep.
We'll put that one on here next week. We'll
Yeah,
talk about
we'll
that.
talk
And
about
then
that
you
next
can see
week,
how
yeah.
really what's going on. What kind of important,
Circus.
yeah.
It's a circus.
What kind of important, topics our congressmen are really arguing about. So
Yep.
that's where we're at, Josh. What do you
I know.
think? Who cares? It's summer.
It is summer.
Let's go.
It's summer.
Yay.
It's hot, Josh summer.
Hot Josh summer. Let's go, dude.
Put that on a shirt.
Yeah, put that on a cross stitch. All right, y'all. No, please do like and share and subscribe. Subscribe to the channel. Hit the subscribe button. Hit the like button. If you hate us, please tell us in the comments. As long as you interact with us in some way, that's all that matters because that drives our engagement and puts us
Amen.
further into the algorithm. And that's what we want. And until next time, peace out.
Bye.